Okay, now we're gonna start with the V's as in Victor. This is gonna be a really nice picture, I can already tell, because the sea, the clouds, the beach. I love it. So back to reality TV. So what else do we watch? I do watch Housewives and a lot of things on Bravo. And the same thing, they're exploiting these people, but these people are a little older to me. I think that they consciously know what they're doing, and I don't feel as bad for them as I do the younger people. Because usually the younger people don't have anybody around them that can advise or have their best interests. The older ones, they walk in on what they are doing, and they have a little bit more time on the earth, and they have a little bit more wisdom, even though we all don't have the same amount of wisdom when we are the same age. I'm gonna just say that. Some older people still act very young and immature. And some of these young people act way more mature than the older people. It's not about age, it's like maturity, but I feel like if you've been on this earth for a little while, then you have a little bit more awareness of what's going on and what you're getting yourself into. So I do watch the Housewives, and sometimes it's very entertaining as well, and sometimes it's very disheartening to know what people will do for money and fame and how they treat others on and off camera. Oh, I keep missing it. On and off camera. But people do what they want to do. And that's it, and that's that. But the ones that's out now, I believe, is Potomac, and Miami is on Peacock. And with Potomac, I really don't have any favorites on Potomac. Like, I feel like on Potomac, everybody has good and everybody has something that I don't like. And everybody has a purpose. Like, I feel like Candace was the youngest for I think she's still the youngest. And she acted. Even though I don't dislike Candace, I think she has very strong reads. Like, she could come at you with words, and she could hurt your feelings. And I feel like if you go after somebody in a fight, physically or verbally, you can't tell them how far to go. You can't say, well, I came with a knife, so you have to come with a knife too. Nope, they might come with a gun. And because you came at them with a knife, and they came with a gun, they go infamous. That's not their fault. They prepared, and you wasn't. And a lot of times I just tell people, stop messing with people, especially if you're not prepared for consequences. Candace got really good game when it comes to her reads. She could hurt your feelings. And there's nothing wrong with that in the line of business they're in, because you gotta protect yourself verbally. Now, when they get physical, that's something totally different. And it goes too far because you can't take it. That's when you know you need to remove yourself from a platform like that. Okay, we back, and we will be doing some C's. Yeah, so her and Sharice are fighting about friendship. Why they not friends, or why they not as close as they used to be. And, in these fights, the truth come out. It's a television show. it's not always reality TV. Everybody, they basically co-workers. So Cherie said, you wasn't supposed to be on the show because I didn't know you. You were just hanging around our table and they saw you and they found interest in you. So Karen was just at the right place at the right time. And I kind of feel like, looking back, the way Karen and Giselle acted as if they knew each other, they really didn't. They fight too much. They don't really like each other. And you could tell they didn't know each other prior to the show. And that's okay because they know each other now. They know each other well enough to film, and they know how far to go with each other. But sometimes when Karen speaks, it don't make sense to me, because even with the "you wish death on Ray," that's not exactly what happened. And then she was telling Charisse, do not bring my mother up. And the way she was saying it, as if Charisse was talking about her mother. Charisse was talking about the situation of the funeral, or how she came to support you. That's different than talking about your mother. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't say anything bad about your mother. She's talking about she came to the funeral to support you in your time of need, in your time of grief. And then after the fact, when Charisse told her grief situation, that should have been a moment where Karen can like soften up and be like, you know what? We had like a rocky past. I appreciate you for reaching out to me in that time, but it was a hard time, and I felt like it was done for publicity. And if it wasn't, then I apologize for taking it that way. But that's the way I felt. It's just like, I know they want to make, a good show. But sometimes they just be reaching. They be doing too much for no reason at all. Okay, we're finished with the C's. That was quick. I'm going to change the color. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. We will be doing the H's. So yeah, I think the fight is kind of stupid. I think that the whole Chris fight is stupid with Giselle and Candace. I do understand, I actually understand Giselle's point, but I also understand Candace's point, because if we are quote unquote friends, you could have told me that off camera about my husband. You waited months until we started filming again to bring up that you felt uncomfortable. So I felt like, yeah, I understand what Candace is saying. Like, that's not a true friend. And you would have did it differently. And I really sometimes feel like Candace be really missing the part of coworker. Like, she take it real seriously. That's why she be always crying. I think she's very young sometimes and very sensitive, even though she's slick with her mouth. I think that's her defense mechanism. Now, Giselle, everybody don't like Giselle. I'm not a hater of Giselle. I'm not a fan. Like, oh my gosh, I love her. But I don't hate her at the same time, because I feel like she kind of stayed true to what she says, because when she didn't like Wendy for what happened last season, and Wendy came to hug her, I ain't gonna lie, I'll be like, what the? Why are you hugging me for, lady? Like, you went on a dissing train for me, telling me or reading me, as they say. But then you come here because it's a new season and you want to hug me. No. That ain't cool to me either. Like, I would have did the same thing, like me hugging. Maybe that's the Taurus in me. But yeah, we ain't hugging. I agree with that. But I also agree with, like, you know, feeling uncomfortable around other people's husbands. Like, when we used to go into work, and the very few men that worked in my department, if you was married, I'm not going to be all up in your face. And they could be friendly and things like that, but it's respect. Okay, those are the H's. So we're going to move along. But yeah, I feel like I don't be up in these men's faces when they marry. It's just things happen. Feelings, they become real. And then you find your flesh. She's like, I need to do this. I don't care about anything else but how I want to feel at the moment. Oh, I see an F I messed up. So I agree with Giselle. Like, we don't need to be in a private place together when your wife is not around. And a lot of young couples don't do that because they don't know that old school type of respect. But yeah, Giselle should have or could have told her prior to them filming. I agree with that. Because now you bring it on the show to make it a thing, to make it a storyline. And that's what Giselle is known for, making good TV. I don't think she really cares about anything. I think she's building the house she wants for her kids. And even though she's doing it very slow, she's doing it on her own. She's doing it in her own time, in her own way. And she's paying for it. So, unfortunately, if she has to be a producer and create drama, she's going to do that. Because we all know reality is like a good 10-year business. It's leveraging, is like long lasting if you do it correctly and you treat people nice on the way up. But other than that, you might have a good 8 to 10 years on TV with sponsorships, deals, and, you know, appearances and stuff like that. And then it dries up. So I think she was very smart in buying a house that was not expensive. It looks really big. And she's making it and turning it into what she wanted it to be. She's not doing it overnight. Look at She by Sheree. Took about 20 years to build up Chateau Sheree. And She by Sheree, it just came out 10 years later. And that's still having issues. So, reality TV is like that. You be hot in the moment, and then you're not. So you might as well spend your money wisely. Then you could be like Kim Zolciak. She's not on ATL anymore. So I think everything is foreclosing and things like that. Like, girl, get it together. We all like to live beyond our means. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if y'all blow me up and make these videos go viral and subscribe like I would love you to, I'm gonna be the least complicated person you know. I do not need a mansion. I do not need a fancy car. I do not need bling bling all around my neck, designer bags and shoes. I mean, I'm not knocking anybody for it, but personally, I don't need that. I just like a nice little living situation, a car to get around in, and clothes that fit well. That's it. I'm just easy. So if y'all blow me up, I might just give some back to you all. I would love to be in a position where I could do giveaways and help somebody else. Because we all live in this world together. And even though we want to live nice and look nice, I just want to be comfortable. I just don't want to be broken on the street. Especially when I'm older. I don't want to be at the Walmart saying, "Hello, nice to see you. Can I check your receipt, please?" I think that's all that's easy. I'll be back with another color change. This box was very interesting because it got so many different colors in it. Thank you, Proteeks, for suggesting this box. I also followed you, Proteeks, because of your support. I want to support you back. Yeah, so Potomac is okay. And as far as like Robin and Dr. Wendy, like a lot of people can't stand Robin. They don't like that woman for whatever reason. I guess because she's best friends with Giselle for so long, and they feel like she just follows Giselle. But what I can say about Robin is that she never hid anything about what was going on in her life, how, stole their money, her and Juan's money in the beginning, and they were dirt poor, which made them be roommates, I guess, in the beginning, then they fell back in love. Whatever they want to call it, it's not my business. But yeah, I understand Robin. Like, she's real to me. Like, when she comes, she don't always come dressed up. She be like comfortable and casual. That's me. I ain't gonna be wearing heels everywhere if I know my butt is gonna be uncomfortable. I'm gonna wear what's comfortable to me, which may not be fashionable. So I get that part of Robin. Okay, I'll be right back. That's the L's. This K-box is almost finished. Thank you guys who's still watching at this moment. Thank you for still watching. I appreciate you the most. And back to Robin and Dr. Wendy. Now, Dr. Wendy, she's a little bit more complex to me. When she first came on the scene, I was like, okay, Dr. Wendy, you got 4 degrees. Even though she said it a lot, I was like, that's worthy of being applauded. You got 4 degrees. You're very successful. You have a family. Seems like Eddie loves her, like not like genuinely. Their relationship seems cool. He has her back. He's a little quiet, but I like that. I don't like somebody who's always in women's business, like Peter. So I like Eddie. Like, he's cool to me. Like, he's quiet. He come to the events. He support his wife, and he's not always in the business. I found his story interesting in the first season, and I found Dr. Wendy's story interesting in the first season. Now, when she came back for her second season, I agree with Giselle and Robin and everybody else who said she changed. She definitely changed. I think that the public got to Dr. Wendy's mental, and she started trying to dress for them. She started changing for the comments that was under, like, Twitter and Instagram. She started changing for them people. So she was different. She did treat Giselle and Robin as friends. She did. And not to mention, that's the season Miss Mia came along and made things a little bit more complicated, because that girl, she's funny to me, but in real life, I think she would get on my nerves, because she be lying. She be lying so much. You don't know what's real and what's fake. I'm like, girl, stop lying. And she looks like she turns on for the camera. So we don't know who the real Mia is. And the way she treated her friend, it's like, girl, like, we've been friends for years. And according to, like, the blogs and stuff like that, like, she was homeless at one point, and the girl's mother used to let Mia stay with them. What? Just to be like that with your new friends or co-workers? Because let's be for real, these women are not friends. Oh, I miss a lot of Z's. You know, sometimes when you do this, you don't see things till later. But I'll be back with another color. Okay, we back with these U's. We're gonna clean this up and call this K a wrap. And so that's my feeling on Dr. Wendy. I think she did change, and that's okay. I just personally wanted her to own up to it. You know, just say, I had a first rough season mentally. The comments got to me, so I want to come back with a bang. She came back like a diva, like reading people for no reason and things of that nature. It was just too much, sis. It's too much. But she made it to her third season, so I guess she's doing something right. Because she got another call back. Now, Ashley. Let's talk about Miss Ashley. So let's talk about Miss Ashley. Now, Miss Ashley, she always did too much from the beginning. When her and Michael was married and then have kids, them two always did the most. Okay, we back with the letter N. And I was talking about Ashley. She always did too much. Her and Michael always did too much. I think it was only one N. Okay, we back with some J's to finish up. I think we gotta do some S's and go back for them Z's I missed earlier. This is almost every letter on the board. Almost every letter was used in this box. And that was kind of cool. For my first box, that was kind of cool. Thanks, Protex, for suggesting this box. Because this was so much fun. That's the end of K. So I'm going to put a short up and ask about what next box we should do next. I'm interested to know what you think. Thank you all, and have a great night.